did you let me kill me?
Most people have a room in their house they don't go into often. A basement, an attic, a storage room, a place that stays closed, a place you tell yourself you'll clean out someday, but you never do, because something about it feels wrong. Something about it makes you not want to go in. Most of the time, that feeling is nothing, just an old room, cold air, bad lighting, but for 35-year-old Marcus Cole, that feeling was a warning he didn't listen to, until it was almost too late. Marcus had lived in his house in Louisville, Kentucky for 6 years. 3-bedroom, old house, built in the 1940s. He liked it. It had character. The basement was the one place he avoided. Damp, dark, full of old boxes he never unpacked. He went down maybe twice a year to check the water heater. That was it. In November 2023, his water heater started making a strange noise, a low knocking sound. Every night around 2 a.m., Marcus went down to check it on a Tuesday evening. He pulled the string light, looked at the water heater. Nothing, obviously wrong. He turned to leave, and stopped. On the far wall of the basement was a door. Marcus stood completely still. He had lived in this house for 6 years. He knew this basement. There was no door on that wall. He walked toward it slowly. It was a wooden door, old, paint peeling, a small iron handle. He put his hand on the wall beside it. Solid brick. The door was real. He reached for the handle, then stopped. Something told him not to open it. Not tonight. He went back upstairs, locked the basement door behind him, and called his friend Pete. Pete came over the next morning. They went down together. Pete looked at the door for a long time, then said quietly, "Marcus, this wasn't here before." "No," Marcus said. "I've been in this basement 100 times." Pete reached for the handle. Marcus grabbed his arm. "Don't," he said. He didn't know why he said it. He just knew. Marcus called a contractor the next day, a man named Bill who had worked on old houses his whole life. Bill came and looked at the door carefully. He examined the frame, the hinges, the wood. Then he stepped back. "This door is original to the house," he said. "1940s construction. Same age as everything else down here." Marcus frowned. "That's impossible. It wasn't here last week." Bill shook his head slowly. "I'm telling you what I see," he said. "This door has been here since this house was built." He paused. "The question isn't where it came from." He looked at Marcus carefully. "The question is why you couldn't see it before." Bill left without opening it. Marcus noticed he didn't offer to. That night, Marcus couldn't sleep. He lay in bed thinking about the door. About what was behind it. At 2 a.m., the knocking started again. But this time it wasn't the water heater. It was coming from the basement door. 3 slow knocks. Then silence. Then 3 more. Marcus sat up in bed. He grabbed his phone, turned on the flashlight, walked to the top of the basement stairs. The knocking had stopped. He stood there for a long time. Then slowly, he went down. The basement was empty. The string light swinging slightly, like someone had just touched it. Marcus walked to the far wall, to the door. He stood in front of it, and listened. From behind the door, a sound. Faint, barely audible, like someone breathing. Slow, steady, calm, like someone who had been waiting for a very long time. Marcus called a paranormal investigator the following week. A man named Thomas Reed who had investigated hundreds of properties across Kentucky and Tennessee. Thomas came alone. He spent 20 minutes in the basement before saying anything. Then he came upstairs and sat down at Marcus's kitchen table. He said, "There's something behind that door." Marcus said he knew. Thomas said, "I've been doing this for 19 years. I've seen a lot of things I can't explain. But whatever is behind that door has been there a very long time. Longer than this house. Longer than this street." He looked at Marcus directly. "Don't open it." Marcus asked why. Thomas was quiet for a moment. Then said, Because it already knows you found it. And right now, that door is the only thing between you and it. He stood up. As long as that door stays closed, you're safe. He left without another word. Marcus listed the house for sale the following month. He didn't tell the real estate agent about the door. He couldn't bring himself to go back into the basement. He had a friend collect his things from upstairs. He stayed in a hotel until the house sold. 3 weeks later, the house sold to a young couple. Marcus felt guilty. He almost called them, almost warned them, but he didn't know what to say. How do you tell someone, don't go into the basement? There's a door that wasn't there before, and something behind it that breathes. 6 months after Marcus moved out, he got a call from an unknown number. He almost didn't answer, but he did. It was the woman who had bought his house. Her voice was shaking. She said only one thing before hanging up. We opened the door. Marcus called back immediately. No answer. He called again. No answer. He drove to the house the next morning. It was empty. Not abandoned. Just empty. No furniture. No boxes. No sign anyone had ever lived there. The real estate agent had no record of them moving out. No forwarding address. No contact information. They were simply gone. Marcus went to the basement one last time. He pulled the string light, looked at the far wall. The door was gone. The wall was solid brick, like it had never been there, like none of it had ever happened. He stood in that basement for a long time. Then he walked upstairs, got in his car, and drove away. He has never gone back. If you ever find something in your home that wasn't there before, a door, a room, a hallway, something that has no explanation, don't touch it, don't open it, don't investigate, just leave, because some things exist on the other side of doors like that. Old things, patient things, things that have been waiting in the dark, for someone to finally notice them, for someone to reach for the handle and open the door. Don't be that person. Whatever is on the other side has waited this long. It can wait forever.